Thanks for joining us on this very special edition of Power Play, where we are going to deliberate on what looks like India's biggest test at Cricket World Cup 2011 so far. Can they really do it against the Proteas? Graham Hick joining me live here in the studios, and of course a big hello to Atul Wasan joining us from Delhi, and Boria Mazumdar, who seems to have made his way to Nagpur all the way. Boria, how's the feeling in Nagpur?
Yeah, I will be going tomorrow morning. So at the moment still in Delhi trying to sort of find out what exactly is going on. But let me tell you, people are keyed up. I mean, I was speaking to a lot of players in the Indian team. They know this is their biggest test. The buzz is happening. Entire India seems to have descended in Nagpur. There's a lot of buzz about the pitch. The action is there. So first flight tomorrow morning on my way to Nagpur.
All right, first flight tomorrow morning on your way to Nagpur. The buzz is growing. Let's get into the debate straight away. What we've done is, batting is an area which does not look like an area for concern as far as the men in blue are concerned so far. But right now, what we'll do is we are going to look at the problem area, the bowling, which looks like the weakest link in that Indian armory. And we've asked our panel of guests to pick up their pick, the bowling lineup that India should field against that South African batting that looks very heavy on the top. Atul Wasan, we'll start with you. Who do you think and what do you think should be India's bowling mix in that match against the Proteas in Nagpur?
First of all, Anand, I would like to refute what you just said, bowling is a problem. I think last two games showed us that batting might be a problem as well. When the crunch comes, number 7 has been batting against Ireland, and Holland, so it could be either batting or bowling on a given day can give you trouble. But I'm pretty much assured that, it's the best way to proceed. We have had a couple of good games, close games, so the complacency will not set in. We know our problem area, so we will be pretty glued in. And I think the best bowling attack for me, what we planned last 18 months, and that's the combination we're playing with, was 3 seamers and a spinner. And 3 seamers for me, Ashish Nehra, Zahir Khan and Munaf at current form with Harbhajan Singh.
So that's your pick. Atul, before I quiz you on your pick, let's quickly take a look at what our other experts also on the panel have to say. We get across to Graham Hick first. Graham, are you mirroring what Atul has picked, or is there a slight change?
I mean, it all depends on the wicket here, but obviously it seems like from all accounts it's going to be a pretty good wicket. I'd be going the same as Atul.
You're going the same as Atul, so again 3 seamers and a spinner, so it's again Zahir, Nehra, Bhaji. But would you want to do a toss-up between Munaf and Ashwin?
I don't know. I mean, we've not seen Ashwin bowl yet, so I'm only going on hearsay and what everyone's saying. I'm surprised we've not seen him yet. I can only think that they're wanting to try and get Chawla's confidence up and get him ready for the latter part of the tournament. So, I wouldn't mind seeing him just to see what he brings to the table.
Okay, what he brings to the table, but preferably Munaf in place of Ashwin. That's what Graham Hick is leaning towards. Boria, what's your thought?
Same, 3 fast bowlers, 1 spinner. There's no question about it. I don't want to blood Ashwin in this game, and then if he has a bad game, then say, he's not in form or he's not done too well. It's unfair on him. So definitely Zahir, Ashish. Give Ashish that extra cushion with Munaf because he's just played 1 game. So Zahir, Ashish, Munaf and definitely Harbhajan.
Zahir, Ashish, Munaf and definitely Harbhajan. So the 3 experts who joined us today have gone ahead overall with 3 pacers and 1 spinner in Harbhajan Singh. Before we get to quizzing them, let's put up the burning questions that we want your opinions on, your calls on also. So here are the burning questions that we'd like your answers to. The first one, is India's bowling capable of taking the Proteas, in fact, taking India all the way into the tournament? So do you think the bowling will last and will champion India's scores all the way till the time they lift the final, the trophy of the final at Wankhede? That's the first question. And there are more questions coming your way. Boria Mazumdar is already smiling, Graham Hick is smiling, but Atul Wasan doesn't seem too convinced. Atul?
Yeah, I was just lost in my thought. First of all, I would like to say that why are we just discounting Sreesanth as yet? He's only had 1 bad game. That too, he just charged in, swung the ball, a couple of Chinese cuts and the batsman flashed at him. So we have almost written him off, So I think he's still got some life in this World Cup. And I would just like to hope that the kind of confidence, the kind of opportunities Dhoni has given to Piyush Chawla, I hope he would have given Sreesanth a go as well.
All right. We've got our first caller already. Before we react to what you're saying, Atul, we've got Ketan calling in from Dombivli. Hi, Ketan. Thanks a lot for calling in. What's your thought? We've put up a few more burning questions on Ravichandran Ashwin and also on Harbhajan. What's your thought?
Well, I want to remind you of a situation when Mr. Kapil Dev was the only player in Indian team who was going all strong and breaking all world records. Unfortunately, there was no one to support him from the other end, and that's why his pace of breaking record or achievements was slowing down. Now here we have to have a situation where the opening bowler, with all his capabilities and merits, or even perhaps spinning bowler like Harbhajan, should have a proper support from the other end. That sort of lineup should be arranged by the captain. That will be the best solution for solving the bowling problems.
Fair point made there. Nobody to back up the star bowler, be it Zair Khan or Harbhajan Singh in that Indian bowling lineup. We've got Samir who's called in from Pune. What's your thought, Samir?
Good evening. My thought is that they should pick Ashwin instead of Nehra, and they should include Munaf, because Munaf has done very well in the last tour, and to surprise the South Africans by taking Ashwin.
All right, so there again a vote for Ravichandran and Ashwin. Quick thought to you, Graham. If that Nagpur wicket is a belter, why going with three seamers? Do you think India will be safe bowling with three seamers?
Yeah, well, you've got, unless it's going to be turning a lot and very slow, and you can feel that child is going to be useful, you've still got the other two in Pathan and Yuvraj. So, I just feel that the three seamers there, and supposedly, three spinners, and I've got my 7 batters, so it's a big game. There's a lot of pressure on both teams here. I just think that would be my safest bet.
Boria, your thought also? Have you made that pick keeping the wicket in mind, or a wicket in mind and the conditions in Nagpur in mind?
Yeah, absolutely, the wicket. I've been speaking to several people at the VCA. Let me tell you, they're telling me, and I'm quoting now, that it's bone dry, it's dark brown, no watering, 300 plus to minimize, the threat of Dale Steyn and Morne Morkel, knowing full well that Dale Steyn had picked up 9 wickets on that track. So they expect turn, but it will be a batting wicket. Keeping that in mind, definitely, Munaf needs to come in at first change. I don't think there should be any other combination. Blooding Ashwin and giving him a bad game, in case that happens, will be bad for his confidence.
So don't blood Ashwin in this match. Save him up for the knockout stages. We've got another caller at this point in time. Thanks a lot for calling in. I'm sorry I didn't get your name. Please introduce yourself and tell us what your thought is.
Hello, my name is Utkarsh.
Hi Utkarsh, go ahead.
Yes, I want to ask a question for Atul Basan.
Yeah, go ahead please, he's listening.
Whether we should take Suresh Raina instead of Yusuf Pathan, because he is a more reliable player, and he would bowl more good bowling than Yusuf Pathan.
Suresh Raina, better bowler than Yusuf Pathan, better option than Yusuf Pathan. Do you agree, Atul?
Yeah, I'm not even debating, their bowling skills right now. But I think what Pathan brings at number 7 is much more than Raina. Raina, unfortunately, has had fallen off, the favourite list. He was competing with Virat Kohli and Yuvraj Singh at one point, and I think these two players have cemented their place. And if he has to play at number 7, I would rather have Yusuf Pathan, because by the time Yusuf Pathan comes to bat, we are hoping that it will be slog overs, and nobody can match Yusuf Pathan with big hitting at this point in world cricket. So I think there is no debate whatsoever in anybody's mind that Yusuf Pathan is going to be the first choice every time.
All right, that argument put to rest. We've got another caller who might just want to pick up something else. This is Nandakumar calling in from Bangalore. Good evening, Nandakumar. What do you have to say, and what's your thought on our burning questions?
I would agree with Atul Watson on including Srikanth as a third seamer, primarily because if you add Ashish Nehra, you're adding one more back fielder to an already flailing team of fielders. So Srikanth makes a big difference, at least on his fielding per se.
All right, so Srikanth in place of Ashish Nehra, not just because of the bowling and his ability against the South Africans, but also his contribution in the field. Graham?
At the moment where everyone's sort of looking to hit to the leg side in those final overs and for the big overs, I find that the ball sliding across, like Zaheer can bowl and other bowlers, when the ball's sliding across, I think it's more difficult, and you see a lot of players swinging across the line and the ball going straight up. And I think, I'm not totally against Srikanth, but I think it's not knowing which one's quite going to pitch up, and that's why I also went for Munaf. You know exactly what you're getting. I just think at times Srinath's just a little bit hot-headed, and like in the first game, I just think he just tried to bowl too quick. So it's a big game. I'm just going for my bankers, I suppose.
Yeah, it's a more stable 80% Ashish Nehra, more matured, or a fired up Srishant. Boria Majumdar?
No question, Ashish Nehra, Anand. I mean, you know that. Ashish Nehra will have to be part of your squad in the knockout stages, the business end of the tournament. He's been your best bowler over the last 18-20 months in the slog overs. Look, Ashish Nehra's run, I mean, the over or run per over is because he bowls in the power play at the start and the power play at the death. Please take into account when you measure Ashish Nehra against the other bowlers. So no comparison, definitely Ashish Nehra.
Right, we got another caller, gentlemen. This is Abhijit, who's standing by from Kolkata. Good evening, Abhijit. What's your thought? What's your opinion on our burning question?
Yeah, good evening, Anand. How are you doing?
I'm good, top of the world. Go ahead, Abhijit.
Yeah, good evening and good evening to everyone. Boria Majumdar, this is to you. I think the point you made just a while ago regarding the VCA track, the Nagpur wicket, is pretty fair because you tend to get big scores over there. Only the match against Australia versus New Zealand was a low-scoring affair. Now, when you talk about the India-South Africa game, you rightly pointed out that Morkel, Austin, or the fast bowling department of the South African team wouldn't be too much of a help against the Indian batsmen because we have got the batsmen to actually negate their line and length, and especially on a placid wicket like that, it's very easy to score runs above 300 over there. So I think we would be able to see a big run affair over there, just like the India-England game, and hope India comes out trumps this time.
Hope India comes out trumps too. We also hope the same. Boria, do you want to react to that quickly?
He's given an answer rather than a question. Just to remember, Dale Steyn 145k. It was a Nagpur batting track. Last year we saw what happened. India was bundled in 3.5 days. Hopefully, no track can stop a genuinely quick fast bowler from performing. Having said that, yes, it should be a batting feast.
It should be a batting feast. Depends on who bats first. And of course, we have to take a very short break at this point in time. But we'll come back and get the answers on the other two burning questions. Can this Indian bowling take India all the way to the World Cup title? And of course, will we see Harbhajan bowling in the power play? Questions to that, those burning questions be answered by our panel right here on Power Play after this very short break. Stay right here with us.